Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from the Frontier. Thank you as always for stopping by. It's very good to catch up with the inimitable and indefatigable Stephen Jennings, Esquire of Endeavour in Tartu City. I took a drive yesterday to Tartu and it was quite an eye-opener. I interviewed Stephen will be publishing that interview momentarily. He really is somebody I've known for many years, from CSOP. Timing was in Moscow, and then when he came here. Macro thoughts: U.S. envoy Haley tells Modi important to cut imports of Iranian oil. A lot will depend on that, but clearly two things have happened. The crude oil price has been on the rip roar, and India's rupee has dropped to a record low as crude oil prices advanced 68.985 when I looked last. China's U.S. trade tariffs may cut U.S. farm exports by 40%. That's what I meant when I said Z has a scalpel, because bear in mind the farm economy is the heartbeat of Trump's presidency. Has a scalpel and Trump has a bazooka. Asia Times is saying Trump does Xi Jinping a favor by taking the blame for China's bear market. ICOs and altcoins are negative sum, massive amounts of capital in human talent being wasted on perpetual motion machines and outright exit scams, Pierre Rochard. Home Thoughts, this is a photograph of the dam in Tartu City, really lovely. Wanted to stop on there, but it was a single lane, so I couldn't. This morning we're live on GMB from Victoria Falls in Zambia. Take a look at that photograph. Word of the day: oneric, dreamlike, wraithish, from the ancient Greek to dream. Thus also onodynia, meaning disturbed sleep, including that in which nightmares and sleepwalking occur and intense dreamscapes are traversed. I like this photograph, making a living under difficult circumstances. Political reflection: South Sudan's warring sides agreed to cease fire in new peace bid. I conclude by saying that is indeed The Big Short. Katrina Manson, when she was asked what to expect from a Putin-Trump meeting, said the agenda here is, I think, to make a big splash. Putin, however, apparently pocketed the dollar a while back. The shock troops who expelled the Rohingya from Myanmar, Reuters is reporting on them. In early August last year, a young lieutenant named Kee Nyan Lin flew to Rakhine State with hundreds of other Myanmar soldiers. They were about to launch a campaign that would drive hundreds of thousands of Rohingya Muslims from their homes and leave the region in flames. First, however, Lieutenant Kee Nyan Lin of the 33rd Light Infantry Division did what any young man might do. He wrote a Facebook post. In our plane, we got to eat cake, read the August 10 post. Are you going to eat Bengali meat, commented a friend. Many Burmese refer to the Rohingya as Bengali or use the pejorative term kala. Whatever, man, replied the lieutenant. Crush the kala, buddy, urged another friend. Will do, he replied. Kee Nyan Lin was part of what some Western military analysts refer to as Myanmar's tip of the spear. Hundreds of battle-hardened soldiers from two light infantry divisions, the 33rd and the 99th, famed for their brutal counter-insurgency campaigns against this nation's many ethnic minorities. And that's just saying, there were welcome back photos of military homecomings can be found on many Facebook accounts that these show soldiers from the 33rd and 99th marching through garrison towns, where people give them flowers or laurel leaves, symbols of victory and good luck. And here's a map and a fact file on the stateless and fleeing Rohingya from AP. President Xi Jinping warned the U.S. Defense Chief James Mattis that China won't surrender 1 inch of territory. I wrote about this in August last year, China rising. And then the AFP is reporting about China's construction of a vast, all-seeing police state in its fractious far west. A government spending spree worth billions to firms providing a high-tech network of cameras and re-education centres. I've said it severally, and I said it recently in November last year. It's a laboratory experiment in control and surveillance matters. Xinjiang. Cameras point at imams leading prayers inside mosques, diners eating in restaurants, and customers haggling with shopkeepers in what activists have described as a human rights and privacy disaster. Facial recognition, iris scanners, DNA collection, and artificial intelligence are also being used by Xinjiang's government to ensure there are no cracks, no blind spots, no gaps for the region's more than 20 million residents to slip through. In 2017 alone, the region spent nearly as much on domestic security as in the 6 years of 2007 to 2012 combined. It's a frightening, dystopian world. The Duke of Cambridge met with the Israeli Prime Minister and Mrs. Netanyahu at the Prime Minister's residence. Sterling hits new lows as Brexit murkiness continues. We're at 130.80. And I said it has now transpired that Brexit was just a rather good trade, and a raid on sterling, a la George Soros, except George played a straighter hand than Nigel Farage. And here is another chart from David Inglis. We're last at 130.82. Gold keeps falling, 1250.71 last. Dollar index rises above 95. This is from Holger. This is probably one of the most worrying signs in this current market downturn. Volumes are picking up substantially, plus it's late June. That's David Inglis. Let's go to the currency markets. Euro dollar, 115.55, holding above that double bottom at 115.15, which is the key level. Dollar index, 95.46. Japanese yen, 110.33. Swiss franc, 0.9986. The pound, 130.77. The Australian dollar is at 0.7340. India rupee record low 68.985. South Korean won 11.2504. The rial 386.13. Egyptian pound 17.8763. South African rand, now that's fallen out of bed at 13.9258. It tends to be the bleeding edge of any emerging market sell-off. Dollar index looks to me as if we're now pointed at 100. Euro dollar, this is a 3-month chart, 115.15. You can see we bounced twice. That remains key. Elon Musk is sleeping under a desk on Tesla's factory floor. His company is making cars partly by hand in a tent. We've made a lot of mistakes. That's why we're here. This is a chart of the world's 100 most valuable brands in 2018. PayPal was the most used online payment system in 2017, according to Credit Suisse. Deutsche Bank suffering continues, stock down another 2%, while 5-year default probability jumps to greater than 13%. I tweeted that Deutsche Bank is pirouetting a huge derivatives book on an ever-reducing capital base. It's a Warren Buffett level thing. Commodity markets, gold around 1250. We're just going to see how we play out from here. 12.51 actually. Brent crude, now that's been all over the place. Take a look at this live chart. I found US WTI is at $72.15, having got as high as $73 yesterday. And obviously that was on the coercive move to cut off Iran from the oil markets. India rupee, as we said, has fallen to a record low. This is a chart from Bloomberg. I said on the 14th of May, this is all the ingredients for baking a good old-fashioned crisis. And indeed, this is what we're seeing, whether it's the Indian rupee or the decline in emerging market currencies, which accelerated yesterday with the biggest one-day drop since May 2017, according to Lisa Abramovitz. And in this chart from Jonathan Ferro, EMFX getting smacked about. Sub-Saharan Africa, the best performing stock market index, by the way, this year, is Tunisia, which is up 22%. But Bloomberg is calling time on that as well. History made peace between Eritreans and Ethiopians once and for all. Congratulations all, said my friend the Eritrean ambassador, Bayen Rousson. So that must be very accurate. Djibouti squandered independence. These world powers make the cold and calculated assumption that Djibouti is stable. On behalf of my impoverished and abused fellow citizens, I have to ask, stability for whom and stability for how long? Euro Money, in a report about country risks, said debt-ridden Angola turns a corner. Within the top 5 most improved countries on a year-on-year basis in Euro Money's country risk survey, Angola has climbed 18 places in the global risk rankings, more than any other sub-Saharan borrower based on analyst assessments. You will remember in early January I said exactly that was what was going to happen. MSCI South Africa is at an 11-month low, down 29% from its January high. South African all-shares down 6.95% year-to-date. Dollar versus rand, good grief is all I can say. We're going up to 1440, which was the level we reached momentarily on those very big sell-offs related to Jacob Zuma. The Egyptian pound, that's hanging in there, 17.8763. They took all the pain. They don't have to really worry right now. Nigerian all-share is down 0.73% year-to-date. Ghana's GDP expanded 6.8%. in the 3 months through March from a year earlier, compared to 8.1% in the previous quarter. The Ghana Stock Exchange is up 11.56% year-to-date. I like this photograph of the scorched plains and Mars-looking landscape of Dalol in the Danakil Depression. First car assembled in Rwanda, that's Volkswagen. African low-cost airline FastJet appears to have run out of steam and risks shutting down if it can't raise more money. Share price plummeted 70% on Wednesday, leaving them at just £3.70, valuing the company at just over £19 million. Once again, thank you kindly for stopping by.